People didn't have much, and most everybody was farmers working for another person, sharecropper, I guess they call it. Families had to feed their own self, practically back then. We didn't have anything. Had running water, but had to run and get it. Yeah, I started school at Eli Whitney. Had 4 classes in the same big building. Miss Corley was our teacher. And she was a good teacher, but strict. She was real strict. Well, I remember going to the picture show back when I was young. You could get a Coke and a bag of popcorn and go to the movie for a quarter. I got my driver's license at 15 and started delivering groceries with a 37 Ford pickup truck. It was a pretty nice truck, but they had mechanical brakes. There was a lumber yard across the railroad from her store, and she had a contract to pick up blocks where they saw off the end of the lumber, and people would buy them, and then I'd deliver them with a truck when I wasn't delivering groceries. They burned them in their fireplace. Start fires. Everybody burned coal back then. I went to work for Western Union in 47, I think it was. They was taking down the old postal telegraph line. We taking down the wire and the poles and everything, yeah. Started in North Carolina and went to Florida. It was hard work, but I enjoyed it. Back then, you know, people would have a big house. They'd get people, young people, to come over on Saturday night, and they'd make music and dance and all. But they didn't do any drinking. Some of the boys would, you know, but they wouldn't come in. There was a lot of moonshine going on. All that time. Back when we lived on the farm even. We had a neighbor that was making some. It was kind of funny. He came over, told Dad, he said, he lived not too far from us, but there's a creek down behind his house. He told Dad, said, I'm going to go down and make some moonshine, or whiskey, he called it. We had a dinner bell. He said, if you see the revenue people, said, ring the bell. And I thought about that late in the evening. I rang the bell. But I never touched it. I went to Fort Jackson first. Stayed, I don't know, 7 or 8 days. Then they sent us to Indianapolis, Indiana. And we took basic training there. Yeah, it was in November, I think. Last October, 1st November was there. And it was in the infantry, but they trained us for engineers, combat engineers. Binds and booby traps. We had to go out in front of the infantry.
You got out?
I got out in July of 52. I went to Body and Fender School on the GI Bill, and I moved back to Marietta and went to work for Cranes. That was an interesting job. You know, those things are, the hearse and limousines are big. And you'd be surprised at the people, the way they get bent was in cemeteries. When they take a person to the cemetery, they was so big, they didn't have the roads big enough for them to get around. They'd bump them on the corners. 34 years, I retired in 1990. I just like Ackworth. It's simple to get around and everything's handy. I'm enjoying where we're at over there, where I live now. Good neighborhood.